We didn't see Matthew Tkachuk out there for practice this morning. Are you expecting him to be good for tonight's intra-squad game?
Yeah, he'll be good. Just maintenance this morning, and as I said, the most important thing for us at the end is that the players are rested and ready, and he'll be ready to go tonight.
We'll go to Salim.
Hey, Geoff.
Hey, Slim.
I'm just wondering your plans tonight for the goalies, and if there's who you plan on playing, and do you think Markstrom will be in it?
Yeah, I mean, I've sort of left that up to our goaltending coaches in terms of who's going to play, and more specifically the order they're going to play in and how much they're going to play. But we'll see everybody, and then we'll take it from there. So we're actually gonna sit down and discuss it a little bit more here before the game tonight. But I anticipate everybody seeing action today. And as I said, it's a short window here. We've only got a couple of games, and it's important that we see everybody in game action.
We'll go to Wes Gilbertson.
Hey, Geoff. I'm curious, not so much for an assessment of how you think he's looked in practice, but through a few days with Nikita Nesterov, what kind of jumps out about his skill set and what he might be able to add to your blue line?
Well, the game's easy for him. I mean, you can tell he's played an awful lot of professional hockey, and he's comfortable in the NHL, having been here before. His gap is extremely good. Sorry, he's up on his gap right from the offensive blue line. He moves the puck, and I just expect that he's going to get more and more comfortable as he develops a little bit of feel for the guys that he's playing with, and he gets used to sort of the things that we're asking him to do. But you can see that he's a confident defenseman. He understands exactly what he brings to the table, and he plays within those parameters. And for first look in a couple of practices, he's been fine. He's been good.
I'm curious when a guy signs from, and he'd been in the NHL, but, when a guy signs out of the KHL, do you do much research after to kind of familiarize? Are you watching tape or how does that go?
Yeah, everything. I mean, we call former coaches, former teammates. We watch them on tape. There's an awful lot of research that goes in on our part because, number one, you want to make the right call. But number two, I think there's a responsibility on our part to know exactly as much as we can about the player. So when we're trying to sell our organization and our team to him specifically, we're not giving him any false impressions. We're not sort of placing him in areas where he feels it may not be to his strength. So I think all those things are important in terms of not only us knowing him, but also in us recruiting him.
We'll go to Ryan Pike.
Hey, Geoff.
Hey, Ryan.
I got a couple ones for you. First quick one. What can you tell us about the format for the scrimmage tonight?
Well, it's going to be 3 periods. I anticipate an awful lot of 5-on-5 play in the first 2. And then we'll probably get into some special situations, whether it be power play, penalty kill, 4-on-4, 3-on-3, 6-on-5, all those types of things probably will take up the majority of the third period, much like it was in the bubble before we went to Edmonton.
Cool. And probably a more complicated one for you. I know it's early in camp, obviously, but with the taxi squad, sort of a new thing, I think everyone's trying to wrap their heads around. As a coach, I know there's things in play that you probably don't have control over, but in an ideal world, what would you like your taxi squad to look like?
Well, obviously we need players from all 3 positions on the taxi squad, and then I think we want players that are going to be able to fit into our lineup and play right away. So those things are all important to me. I think how they fit in with our group is going to be important too. The season is going to be short and furious. We need to have guys that are capable of stepping in and playing it at NHL level, but we also need guys who are going to be able to step in and fit in with our team. So those are some of the things that we'll be looking at when we make those decisions.
We'll go on to Peter Labardius.
Hi, Geoff.
Hey, Lou.
Just want to ask about your impressions of like the overall depth. Some of your up and comers, whether it's a Ruzicka, a Luke Phillips, Godden, have you seen a lot of great progress in them during this camp from where you saw them even in the summer?
Yeah, I mean, some guys have really, I think taken a step forward, but every single guy in terms of those players that you're talking about has come in and had a real positive camp. I think they're comfortable playing at this speed, at this intensity level. They're comfortable playing with our NHL players. They don't look out of place. I think with some of these guys, when I first arrived here in Calgary, they looked a little bit out of place. You could tell that they hadn't played in a professional situation, hadn't been to a professional camp. But really, with the guys who have had a year of pro under their belt in the American Hockey League, you can see a huge difference in terms of what they're bringing to the table, just their reactions, their confidence with the puck, how good they are structurally, which means that our American League coaches are doing a tremendous job down there with these guys, and that these guys are also doing a tremendous job. I mean, we really want to emphasize with everyone that they take charge of their own path, and I think we're seeing that with these players, and they've all contributed in a positive way. And the unfortunate thing is that we don't have our regular month-long camp because some of these guys are not going to get an opportunity, obviously, to play exhibition games, where on another hand that they would. And we think those are huge in terms of gaining the experience, in terms of finding out what it takes to play at this level.
We'll go to Haley next.
Hi, Geoff. Just to follow up maybe on Ryan's question there, how do you strike the balance between having guys in your taxi squad who can step in and play right away with the need to also have your young players playing on a daily basis and getting that development? I know there's probably some younger guys who are close to being ready, but might be on the outside looking in. So how do you strike that balance of having those guys available to play, but also the need to have them playing all the time, perhaps in the American League?
Well, I think if the American Hockey League plays, and certainly they're going to make every attempt to, I think that makes that issue an awful lot easier for us. I mean, you want young players to be playing a lot. So if they have an opportunity to go down and play more games at the American Hockey League level, especially guys, that are coming fresh out of junior, then you want that opportunity for them, as opposed to, maybe sitting around on a taxi squad and not seeing an awful lot of game action. So, those things will certainly to play into it. But the other thing we have to keep in mind is that we want to put these players in positions where they're going to succeed, and into positions where what they're doing is best for their development. And that's an important thing. So guys who are, like I said, we want guys on that taxi squad who we feel are NHL ready, guys that can play in the league, guys who potentially have experience playing in the NHL. So all those things are going to come into play for us, because once things happen, whether it be through injury, whether it be through sickness, we need to have guys ready that can step in and potentially very, very quickly. So the fact that, the American League plays and our taxi squads here and they're working out as we anticipate they will, then we're going to have the best of both worlds in terms of what we're able to potentially draw when we need it.